Well, you saw the 7-day forecast right there. Below freezing temperatures in store for Albuquerque for the rest of the week. And the Water Authority reminds its customers that it's time to shut down the sprinkler systems for the winter and to prepare household water pipes for cold weather. Are you guys ready for the cold snap? I mean, it's pretty much here.
I don't like it. I don't like it, but I know who is ready, and it's this gal, especially if you're not. A warm New Mexico-style greeting for Shelly Maez, our Chief Operations Officer and an owner for Academy Plumbing. Welcome to the show.
Thank
We
you.
both love having you here.
Good to see you.
This is a week we really need your advice. I know big stories in the news, of course, have been about the pipes freezing. So what can we do to avoid this?
First of all, know where your main shutoff is at your home.
Okay.
Second of all, drain your hoses. Make sure your outside faucets are drained. Any exposed piping, any exposed faucets, make sure they're insulated, heat wrapped.
And how do you do that? I mean, how do you even do that? If you're just a single girl and you're living by yourself, you're thinking,
Well, it is pretty easy. You can buy the kits at Home Depot or Lowe's.
Okay, good.
And they got the insulation with the pipes.
Okay.
With the pipe wrap.
So there's somebody that can guide us?
Yeah, or you can call us and we'll do it too.
Okay, that's a good thing, because, I mean, that's scary to me.
Yeah. Now, what about if you're going to be leaving your home for a while? Should you mess with your thermostat? Is it safe to turn it off, or should you leave it on? Does that make a difference?
If it's very cold, you should leave it on.
Okay.
In the older homes, a lot of people are shutting their thermostats down at night.
Right.
If if it's freezing, you should leave it up. And if you have any like northern exposure pipes underneath, in an older home, open up the cabinets and let the heat in.
Really? See, I would never think of that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. And I mean, I think a lot of people are just very concerned because a lot of people in the area, they need to be aware. And I know that fines are being assessed as well for people who are allowing water to freeze on the streets or the sidewalks and can be held legally responsible for the damages and the injuries that result from these problems.
Right.
So how do we deal with this?
Well, the first thing you should do is call the city. They have an emergency number that you can call.
Okay, which is? Do you know what that is?
Not right.
We can check it.
You have it.
Right.
Anyways, so when you call them, they have a 20-minute response time, is what he told me yesterday.
Okay.
So what causes the water to leak? And freezing on the sidewalks. What can kind of lead to that?
Yes.
Leaving the sprinklers on.
The sprinklers.
If the sprinklers come on, automatic timers, that's why everybody should make sure that their timers are off. And sprinklers are drained, and the sprinklers are drained down,
Okay.
But they do have an emergency number, and you should not turn off your own valve at the street. They will go do it for you. But he did tell me yesterday. He did tell me yesterday that if indeed your house is flooding and you have a shut-off key, there's no problem turning it off.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
so that's the only time.
If you break, you should not do it any other time.
Okay.
If anything breaks at the meter, the customer is responsible for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And nobody wants that kind of fine, let alone the damage. You can see right there. There's that number you were referring to, 857-8250. So that's our way to contact.
Right.
And you can see these are really good tips. I mean, find the master, as you mentioned, Shelley, find the master shutoff valve.
Right.
Disconnect and drain your hoses. Shut down the sprinkler system. Insulate your pipes and faucets, and seal off access doors.
Right.
So I think that's very important, and people really need to take that advice.
Right.
Yeah. The Water Authority operations take as many as 200 calls per day during cold snaps from people with frozen or burst pipes. So a lot of precautions that we can take, right?
Yep.
No kidding. That's a lot of people. I can imagine. What was it like last week? And are you seeing the same kind of problems this week?
Oh, yeah. We're very busy this week, too, with a lot of repairs. Yeah. And a lot of them are on the north side of the house where there's no exposure, sun exposure, and people don't realize it,
That's really interesting because you don't think about that when when you're at your house and you think about the situation. You don't say, well, I'm on the north side, the south, but you really have to think about that because if you are on the north side, you're really going to suffer some potential damages.
And disconnect those hoses.
Okay.
What about running the water? Does that help too?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It does.
Yeah, you can let it drip, just drip a little bit, and the cold side.
Really? See, and I always think that's bad.
Especially if you're in the East Mountains.
Okay, good to know. Well, see, and of course, the thing is, somebody like me, I always get nervous when these kind of situations arise, and I end up saying, I don't think I can do this. I think I need to call somebody. So it's good to know that you guys are available for everybody right now.
Oh, yeah.
And what about the styrofoam faucet covers?
Oh, the styrofoam faucet covers are great. Oh, yeah.
Wait, what are they? Say that again?
They're a styrofoam faucet cover for outside hose bibs.
Okay.
And you can get those at Home Depot, Lowe's, any hardware store.
Oh, okay, good.
And they're insulation, like a bubble that you put on.
Does it really help?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Well, one of the other things is a lot of the schools are closing. I know that happened last week, and I think even this morning, weren't there a couple school closures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those are exposed pipes in the ceilings where there isn't a lot of heat. The older schools, you know, I don't know a whole lot of detail about it, but yeah.
But we want to prevent it. And of course, you can always contact Academy Plumbing. We have the address and the phone number and the website right below where we're sitting right now, and you can see that. And I highly recommend, if you have any indication that you're in a potential hazardous situation or that your pipes may be frozen, that you make that phone call. It certainly is worth it. There are no telling how many people will avoid a costly mess by doing so.
Right.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Stay warm and listen to Kristen's forecast. She's right on.